Yo guys, welcome to my second video on this channel. So I realized on the last video I didn't really explain what this channel is about, so I'll do that quickly as I'm warming up in this session. So basically I created this channel to keep track of my progression, and instead of just posting videos on Instagram and just like showing the result, I like to talk about the tries and how the moves felt technical, and what's behind all the sends, just talking about the technique and how I felt on the boulders. So I think that's super interesting, especially for me in the future, just watching these videos back, but also to share with other people my sessions. So that's basically the reason of this channel. I also wanted to mention that I got a small tripod to film myself during the sessions, because it was getting pretty hard to film myself on the bench. And also I got a new mic, so this is probably better quality than my first video. And it was probably the first time I did a small warm-up before trying the boulders. So that was something I should probably incorporate more in my routine, because I felt pretty strong during my warm-up. Alright, so this is the first project of the session, and when I looked at this V10, I kind of knew it was my style because there was small crimps everywhere, and it was pretty technical because you had to keep yourself on the wall very often. But man, even this first move was super awkward. You're gonna see I'm like super confused trying to lift my foot up, but it was not working. So instead, I opted for a different beta on this next try. And I think it's a better break because you're not supposed to match on this one. But I could bring my foot up already, so it was the most efficient beta for me. So I didn't get it on this try, but I knew I could get it on the next one, so I decided to try the ending because that was the only part missing. And man, you're gonna see a big beta break on this one because I'm 6'6" with my reach, and I was max span for this last move. You're gonna see I have 2 fingers on the right holding for my life, and I'm like super span. I didn't get the match, but I knew I could get the send. I was max reach on the last move, but I could bring my right hand closer and that way get a controlled match. And also check this out, my tape split, so the crimps were very sharp. Okay, so this boulder was super cool, but man, last session I got annoyed because I knew I could send it, and I knew it was kind of a soft V10, but it was just the fact that I was so weak and I had a bad beta on the middle, so I needed to change something in this session. So basically the sloper is not too bad, but you really need to take some weight off your arms, and the toe hook method was not for me, so I had to switch it up and put a heel hook instead for the send. And that finish was super limit because I didn't try it before, so I had no idea I had to pull that much with my left leg, but that was a cool ending from this climb. So in this next boulder, there's a massive and sick dyno. Check this out. Alright, I'm just kidding. This is the real dyno though. So the dyno was sick, but man, this section was the real crux of the climb. So the foot is so small that you can't even trust it, and you really have to go in if you want to make the ending. The problem is the hand is also super trash. You have like 2 fingers and it's super slopey, so it's not really helping you. The real problem though is the small ass foot that you really have to trust, and even with these shoes I just couldn't seem to get the right positioning to go in, so I really had to find something else, which was just going at it. So in this next try I think we're gonna get a send, but man, I wasted so many tries on that last move, so I'll leave you with this clip. And check out this boulder, it looks like a masterpiece. But man, I was pissed from last session because I did all the moves, but I couldn't link it together because the middle section was holding me back. It feels like a super small box and I was barely fitting in. But you're gonna see in this attempt, my right foot is a little too far, so I couldn't get in the right drop knee. You're gonna see I'm looking for the position, trying to fit in the box, but it was just too small. Instead, I kept that in mind for my next try, and I could get the send because I was pretty confident that putting my right foot a little more to the left was gonna make me do the drop knee and fit in the box. But you're gonna see the last move was so limit. Even if I learned this move and I got the drop knee, which was pretty limit, you're gonna see I'm even helping with my head there. The matching on this crimp didn't feel right, and look at this last move. It might look like I was exaggerating my scorpion move, but nah, I really needed that because I grabbed the left hand so terribly bad that I almost came off the wall, but that scorpion move actually helped me. So that was a super cool send. So I tried this boulder only once, and this V9 felt pretty chill. The only problem was my skin. I was kind of floating through this beginning. It wasn't too bad, but when I got to these crimps, my skin was hurting so much from the other boulder, the black V10 that was with the sharp crimps, that when I got to the next move, I just couldn't take it anymore. The skin was hurting too much. I didn't try it again, unfortunately. So we're back with the coordination boulders. I really wanted to try this V8 because I have to try these different styles. And you can see I'm having a terrible swing, and also I have a blister on my hand, so it's not really helping on the jug. But look at this swing, I'm going like in a circle, which is very bad if you want to land flat on the volumes. So I knew I had to correct this issue, and I needed to extend my arms a little more and probably just trust my foot more. So after this attempt, I knew I could get it because the swing felt right, and I just needed to land perfectly on the volumes, and then I could get the jugs pretty easily as so. The ending wasn't too bad, so even though I didn't try it before, I could get a nice send of the boulder. And I think these boulders are very nice to try because I think if I wasn't filming, I wouldn't have tried this boulder because it's anti-style and I'm not always motivated to try these dynos. So here we are with a different style completely. So this is in the overhang, and this V8, one of the staff members told me it was a super cool boulder, so I had to try it. And I was really enjoying this one because the volumes felt all good. It was just a matter of beta. And I was on my first attempt, so I really wanted to flash it, so I had to try a little harder than usual. So I was getting lost in this middle section, but I found this knee bar that kept me in, and the ending wasn't too bad, but you really had to make sure you still have the juice because it's not over. The holds may look like jugs, but they're a little slopey, especially after all that beginning. You really don't want to drop it, so it's still a little challenging. But I got a nice flash from this one, and as I was saying on the last video, it's one of my goals to get like better at flashing stuff, because even though I don't want to necessarily do comps, it's very nice to flash a boulder, of course, so this is something I'm working on. Finally, this is the last boulder of the session, and even though I did it once before, I had completely forgotten the beta, so I did it again. And it didn't feel too bad since it's just small crimps and nothing special, just pulling through. So that was a super cool session at the gym Délire Pierre Bertrand, and I'm glad I got all these awesome boulders on that day. As you saw, this is the second session of the day, and I only had 30 minutes to do some boulders on the tension board, so I had to be really quick about it. Anyways, this boulder was one that I tried last session, and I was close to getting, but that sloper in the middle is pretty bad, so you really have to hit it perfectly, which is what I did on this attempt. So I felt super strong on this move, but I think the crux was after this one, hitting the crimp with only 3 fingers. It was pretty limit, and you also have to match with 3 fingers. So that sequence was so cool that I think it was my favorite boulder on the tension board yet. So 5 star. I also tried this boulder that was set by the head route setter at my gym. And it's a very cool boulder that I almost got on that day, but the last move shut me down because from the beginning it's super like difficult to grab that last hold because it's a little twisted to the left. I got it isolated, but man, from the beginning it was a good challenge. Lastly, this is a boulder that I tried last session, and I dropped the last move, so I was pretty confident that I could get it on this session. I was trying the last move over and over again, but man, after you grab the pinch on the right, you have such a bad position that you can't really stay close to the wall. You have to commit and hold on to that slope, which is something I missed even today. So that was all the boulders from that day. I hope you enjoyed seeing my session, and I'll see you next time.